Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and yours are well, and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. You loved, celebrated, and of course appreciated. So, all right, Majesties. I just want us to have some little deliberation about France and what is happening within this week. We got to see that the French government had gradually, become the shadow of itself, or is becoming the shadow of itself. They are becoming weak by day. They are falling off the ladder by day, and it's not like Africans are just, so happy. They are wishing that France fall totally. There is no sane human being with a soul that would want to see another human being suffer and lose it. No, no. So we are not interested in that. But there is one thing with this life. Whatever action you put out there has a reaction. Whatever good you do has something that follows it. Whatever bad you do, be it to an individual or community, has something that follows it. And I think France is just, getting what is due to them. They are getting what is due to them. Now, seeing how they have milk destroyed, pillaged, the continent, is just normal for any African to have a sign of relief seeing the situation that they are in. Remember, I've said it before that there's no sane human being that will see a fellow human being suffer and be happy. But the continent have suffered so much. And to see that Mother Earth, to see that nature, to see that nemesis have their own way of dealing with situation is just a joy that we have. And I want to share with you some of these informations and we do some more deliberations, Your Majesties.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a breaking news coming from France. La breaking news est de la des Français, le da vrou. Let's get serious. Breaking news from France, ladies and gentlemen. The French government had collapsed officially. The Prime Minister of France had been voted out of office. A no confidence vote was called on him and he lost the no confidence vote. The National Assembly have now instructed him to tender his resignation to the president immediately because he had lost the no confidence vote, which means the people of the country, the French people, don't have any more trust in him. The French people don't have any more trust in Emmanuel Macron. Where is Emmanuel Macron? Ladies and gentlemen, I told you we are going to see many more of government around the world. I won't say around the world, in Europe, go down because of their arrogancy. They know exactly what they need to do. They would not do it because they want to prove a point. They would rather see their citizens suffer. And ordinary French citizens cannot even afford the welfare, whatever, because the government is broke. France is broke to the core. And we are going to see many more of this. Germany is right behind France. And we already know what Germany is going through already. And they are beginning to fix up because they see their route of travel is not been favorable. And Germany is removing themselves slow and steady. Here we are. Emmanuel Macron, where are you? Please, if you see Emmanuel Macron, point to him. Tell him I said hello.
That was on a lighter one, but the message was passed, right? That's a big shy. Now, it's not like we are finding, happiness in seeing that a whole government is becoming a shadow of itself. A whole government has fallen, and but it's just so normal for every African to have a sign of relief, like I said from the beginning. Now, what do you think There are some Africans that believe that they are just getting what is due to them because of the evil they have done to the continent. And that's why I said from the beginning that whatever you do has a reaction. Whatever you put in, you give out to nature, you will receive it back in hundredfold. You give out love, charity to creation, you receive it back in hundredfold. If you give out hate, destruction to humanity, to creation, you will receive it back in hundredfold. And France is receiving hers back in hundredfold. And not just France, the whole of Europe and America is seeing their government is shaking right now. They are beginning to see that they were standing so tall and so high up there in the sky before now, and they could do whatever they want to do. They go to anywhere they want to go to, take advantage of people, do whatever they want to do, invade people, bombard people. But we are beginning to see the hands of time changing right before our eyes. And whenever I talk about geopolitics like this, I always talk based on the interest of my people. They knew that this time will come. Macron knew that there'll come a time like this, that situations like this will occur. I believe that he is even prepared for war. In short, one thing with these governments, they don't even have their own people at heart. So is it your own people they're going to have at heart? Because already they are preparing from now that something big might happen next year. And I saw something like that. I don't know if most of you have an idea about what I'm saying. But the fact still remains that it is the evil that they have done that is haunting them today. The evil that Europe has done is what is haunting her today. And one thing with life is that there is rising and there is falling. So sometimes when you are up there, you forget that there will be a time when you'll be down. And there's one thing with them, like Big Shai said, they are so pompous of themselves, so full of themselves that they would not want to own up and do the right thing that they need to do. Okay? We have Macron, just in disguise, running up and down in the continent, trying to apologize to countries that they have taken advantage of. We see how he tried to return to the Sahel, tried to beg that they're going to be fair, that they know they've not been fair, but this time around they tried their best to be fair. They tried to persuade Niger to take them back because about some months ago, we saw this coming. About some months ago, we knew that there will be a time like this in France where the people would lose hope in the government. And that is exactly what we are seeing. Because what they were getting from the continent, they were not getting it like that anymore. How they were milking out from the Sahel, it wasn't like that. The Sahel became the downfall of France. That is just what people are saying. This is the what Africans believe. I don't know what you believe. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section. The Sahel became the downfall of France. The greed of France, okay, is what pushes her into this destruction. Because they were so greedy to the point where they were not fair at all to the dealings they were doing to their relationship with the Sahel countries. And it was up here for them, and they decided to show that they also have the power to make decisions for themselves. And that's exactly what they did. And they kicked out France. And it was after France was kicked out of the Sahel that her nightmares began. And the question I have is that you will be milking out of people. Doesn't mean you never thought that there will be a time where they would realize that they have been taken advantage of and then rise up? Because it's like France was hoping that the Sahel remain in the situation that the Sahel have been in. Okay? They never hoped and wished that a day will come where the Sahel will liberate herself and agitate for freedom. They never thought of that day. And that is why they were okay milking out from the Sahel, not doing anything at all with the power that they had at the moment where they had it. And after they were kicked out, instead of them to bow and then maybe at that moment began to see how they can, fixing some bilateral relationships again, they started sanctioning the Sahel. Okay? And they thought that it was a joke. Remember where they banned Air France from the Sahel? They thought it was a joke. So when time came for Macron to reopen, the Sahel said, okay, just hold on. We do not even want you near our region anymore. And that was a big slap. You decide to sanction me. In his mind, he was like, I'm going to deal with these people. He banned Air France. And when it was time for Air France to reopen, the Sahel said, we don't want Air France anymore. That was the beginning of their destruction. Because a lot of French citizens lost their job at the process. So they made decision without even thinking about their people. So how would they think about Africa? This is exactly what the Sahel keeps saying. They do not, have fair dealings with people. They only think of themselves. They are so selfish. And it is their selfishness that is pushing them down into the pit today. So what do you think about the situation of the French government? Because right now the citizens do not trust Macron's leadership. They do not trust Macron's governance. And they are saying it openly. They are tired of the situation. Life is not like before anymore. That's beautiful life they have in France. They do not have that anymore. And it's all because of the policy makings that these governments do. They don't think about the citizens before they make decisions. I'm going to leave you with some more information and you leave your thoughts and opinion in the other section, Your Majesties.
What we did today, i.e. overthrow a government, is a victory for the popular mobilization during the summer. In 2 days, we will have a major movement. Tomorrow, we will ask for impeachment of Macron. The problem for the country is Mr. Macron. The day after tomorrow, we will be in the streets to block the country's economy, to say this is enough.
France's government is on the brink of collapse, and the situation is sparking global attention. The country is now drowning in a serious debt crisis, and it's not just France. Other European nations, especially the United Kingdom, are also facing mounting pressure. For decades, France relied heavily on African nations to sustain its economy. Do you know that 14 African countries have been handing over nearly 80% of their yearly revenues to France for more than 50 years? This arrangement made African nations the backbone of France's economic stability. But now, many of those countries, such as Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Chad, and Senegal, have expelled France, cutting off that critical lifeline. The consequences are severe. France's debt has skyrocketed to 3.34 trillion euro, increasing at a staggering rate of 5,000 euro every second. Companies are fleeing the country, and without Africa's resources, France is struggling to sustain its citizens. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom continues to draw deeply from Nigeria, but experts warn that once Nigeria fully pushes back, Britain may face a similar crisis. What you're seeing right now is Europe being forced to reckon with decades of dependency on Africa, and the cracks are showing.